2022 has been a wonderful year for anime.
With the return of conventions and less backlog catalogs of shows has given us one of the strongest years of anime yet.
Loads of sequels, great new original concepts, and some highly anticipated adaptations have resulted in an overall increase of quality across the board.
For today's video, we wanted to look back at some of the shows that we watched this year and give them the dues that they deserve.
Johnny, you mean the shows that came out this year, right?
I thought we would do the shows that we watched this year regardless of when they came out.
So let me get this straight. You're trying to tell me that you did not watch 5 brand new anime this year?
Did you edit over 10 hours a week of you messing up your lines and making a video out of it?
All right, touche. So I will be covering 5 of the best shows I saw from 2022.
And I'll be covering what I watched in general of 2022.
In this video, we won't be covering any sequels, so don't count on seeing any of them in today's lists.
We wanted to focus on new shows that didn't have a fan base going into this year from previous seasons. Rules which I totally followed.
I'm Summers.
And I'm Jonny.
And this is Baka To Basics, Best of 2022. Class is officially in session. Video games have historically had a really hard time getting good live adaptations. From Assassin's Creed to World of Warcraft, something has always just felt a little off with the execution. I would always tell my friends that a series was the correct way to go, as it would allow more room for the story to breathe, and switching from live action to animation would only enhance the level of action these properties could obtain. So, color me very intrigued when Studio Trigger announced that they would be making an anime based off of the Cyberpunk 2077 game called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. At first, I was very apprehensive, but immensely excited to see what one of the most unique and innovative animation studios could do. And wow, did they not disappoint. From character designs to fight choreography to downright wonderful voice acting, and even some Easter eggs for fans of the game. Everything about the show was off the charts amazing. This might very well win Anime of the Year, and for damn good reason. Now, Johnny and I agreed at the beginning of this video we wouldn't take too long on any one section, so I'll just simply say, get on your Netflix account, or use someone else's for all I care, and watch this damn show. It is a treat for the senses, and one we will be talking about for years to come.
Summers, that wasn't a minute. We agreed on talking about the shows for a minute, but I guess I'll just talk about I-Deities Only No Peace. I know the show came out last year, but I watched it this year, so I'm going to talk about it. It's a show about gods that protect the earth from demons. And the demons have developed a new look. They look like humans. The best way to describe the show is probably like adult version of Dragon Ball Z. Like even more adult version than Dragon Ball Z. Like it has gore, sexually implied stuff that just but the thing that I really like about the show is the animation style, and I just like it because it just feels like old cartoons.
I will be the first person to admit that I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon Journeys. Its pacing is all over the place, most of Ash's new team is sorely lacking development, and the Masters 8 tournament, the most important arc in the show's long history, at times feels like an unthought out mess. However, this was all rectified for me in one episode. Before that though, I will say that Ash's battle with Cynthia and the first 3 parts of Ash vs. Leon are top tier stuff, but nothing may ever make me shout out and legitimately cry tears of joy as much as episode 132 of Pokemon Journeys, titled The Finals 4 Partner. The animation is next level, and I will gladly fight that this battle between Pikachu and Charizard was the fight of the year in anime. The story told between Ash and Pikachu, as well as Leon and Charizard, is extremely relatable as a pair of two true best friends, and partners fight for everything they have worked so hard for. Then the cameos happened, and I had to watch this scene a couple times, not because I was unsure of what I was seeing, but because I was crying so damn much. I know that Ash is no longer going to be the main character in Pokemon going forward, but please bring Primate back for Generation 9. It's about damn time we see the fruits of his training. I've been a Pokemon fan for a majority of my life, and this one episode felt like a true love letter from Pokemon to all the fans of the series throughout the years.
Again, Summers, you took really long time, so I now only have such a very small time to talk about the most underrated anime in 2022, in my personal opinion, in Bocchi the Rock. Probably butchered that name, so please forgive me. But the show is about this high school girl that wants to be a rock star and is like a guitar god, but has really bad anxiety, like really bad anxiety. And you feel her pain through the animations. Like, it's just, you feel it. I've never felt the pain that is shown in this show, and it's really good. So go watch it.
A handsome spy, a gorgeous assassin, and an orphan with telepathic powers adopt a dog as a front to find out secrets about a rival warring nation. This is not, in fact, the setup for one of your uncle's terribly timed jokes around the holidays, but rather the premise to one of the most refreshing and hilarious anime to drop in years. Spy X Family embraces its own weird, chaotic energy with a ton of character ideas that sound like the rundown of a team in a shonen battle series, but are instead placed in a comedy about a fake family where everyone is hiding something from one another. This was one of the shows where I watched the first episode and immediately went and found the manga so I could continue to enjoy its story. This has the feeling of a series that could very well go on for seasons to come, and we as a community would all be better for that.
Thank you, Summers, for keeping that one at least under a minute so that I can at least talk about the most anticipated show of 2022. Chainsaw Man. Now, I know Chainsaw Man and Bocchi the Rock are still ongoing, or they might have finished, or at least. Anyway, Chainsaw Man. It's a man that turns into a chainsaw and kills demons. Any more than I need to explain? It's just a really good show. There's a reason why it's the most anticipated show of all of 2022 because of the animations. It's so good. I'm so happy I'm watching this. Like, it makes me think differently because I don't know if it's 3D or 2D half the time because of how good it is. Do yourself a favor and just go watch this show. Go steal Summers' Crunchyroll account and just go watch it, please.
Netflix absolutely smashed it out of the park this year for anime, and it really surprised me with Romantic Killer. The title sounds like it could be about a lovelorn soul going around murdering happy couples as some sort of self-righteous plight against those in love. But it's actually about a high school girl named Anzu that wants nothing to do with romantic situations and everything to do with video games, chocolate, and her very round and adorable cat, Momohiki. Suddenly, a fake video game created by the self-proclaimed Love Cupid, Riri, takes away her three greatest desires, all in the hopes of forcing her to focus on romantic relationships to help combat the declining birth rate assumed to be caused by the decrease in romantic opportunities between men and women. So it's a silly concept, but even with sillier plot points, as the show unfolds, but that just adds to the unassuming charm that the show has. It's one of those shows where you don't realize you've binged it until Netflix recommends shows like it for you to watch. And in my opinion, that is one of the biggest compliments that a show can receive.
Well, Summers took a long time again, but I won't take that long for this one. I watched Perfect Blue for the first time this year, and I watched it again and again and again. Maybe not that many agains, but I did watch it multiple times. And each time it was as good as the last. There's a reason why it's a cult classic. Satoshi Kon's work is just amazing, and it's a complete mindfuck at times. There's a reason why I watched it multiple times, so that I could try to understand which reality they're in. It's hard to do, but I highly recommend watching the show, and there's a reason why it's a cult classic. I can't do it justice here, but I do plan on making a video on it. Stay tuned for that.
So, did I mention how absolutely bonkers Netflix has been with anime this year? Vampire in the Garden is the type of emotionally resonant and heartfelt story that I get addicted to. And you know what's amazing when my big complaint about a show is that it's only 5 episodes long. Give me more, Wit Studio. I'll gladly indulge. This brief yet fantastic story about a human and a blood-sucking vampire queen creating a bond as they search for paradise, a place the humans and vampires live together in harmony, takes its viewers on such a wonderful journey that's littered with fantastic music composition and art design. This is likely going to be the show missed by most anime fans in 2022, but I believe that in hindsight, it will be one of this year's most beloved shows.
Good job, Summers, for keeping this one under a minute length again. My last series that I watched was Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. My God, this show has the best animations. It looks so real.
Johnny,
Yeah?
look, I know you're trying, but that's not an anime. I mean, it probably would have been a really good one, but still, it's not a fucking anime.
But the CGI was so realistic.
Did you seriously not watch any other anime this year?
I mean, do you want me to talk more about X-Arm?
And that's all we have for today's class session at Baka To Basics.
No, seriously, I have more to talk about X-Arm and the Rings of Power.
We seriously appreciate all the support everyone has shown to this channel in 2022.
Set thousands of years before The Hobbit.
We
and
have
Lord of the
a
Rings,
ton
the
of
series
great
is
videos
based
planned
on
for
the chaotic
2023.
history
If you
of
like
the
today's video,
It
please like and
begins
subscribe for
during
more
the
anime
Middle
and
Ages.
anime-related
Covers the
videos.
major events
And
in
if
the
Johnny will
Middle-earth
shut
set
up,
in
maybe a full review of the Rings of Power.
Oh God, he called my bluff. Comment down below if that's something that you would enjoy. Maybe I'll do it.
From us here at Baka To Basics, we sincerely wish you all a happy new year.
I've been Johnny.
And I've been Summers with Baka To Basics. And we will see you the next time class is in session.